motion to approve the minutes of June 13th, 2018.
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion by two. We currently have Kyle is running late, so we'll continue on as we usually do on the meetings. Oh, one.
Your microphone's going to feed back in a second.
Yeah. Next on our agenda, I guess we have an abatement.
Yes.
That's something we can do with two signatures, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened was every year, every November, whatever's left in the sewer system gets leaned onto the real estate taxes. And this lady paid the day that it got leaned over. So
Okay.
it's now on her real estate bill and it shouldn't be on there. So we need an abatement to refund her, or to take it off of the,
Well, that's the key about all rebatements.
real estate.
They deserve it.
Yep.
You want this back, or leave it here in case Kyle shows, or?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, next on our agenda is July, beginning of our fiscal year, the organization of officers. With one absent. Just look for a recommendation.
I recommend we keep everything the same. I'll make that motion if you want.
I can second that motion. Pass. Put the motion 2-1. If there's any, I'm trying to find out if this is something that, do we have to postpone this for the next meeting, or?
I mean, that's so, I mean, we do have things to talk about. If you wanna hold off and just postpone that to the end of the meeting, I'll go with the motion. I mean, it's totally up to you, gentlemen, whatever you wanna do.
Well, I have no problem with the officers all being the same, so if Larry's making the motion, we'll, I'll second the motion, we'll, all in favor? Aye. So officers will stay the same for the upcoming year, starting July 1st of 2018 to June 30th, 2019.
Just to put it on record, I think you're doing a great job, Neil. That's why I... Okay.
Well, thank you. Well, we tend to try to get our meeting started right on time and move forward, so we can give more time to Donald. And speaking of that, Donald, we have on our agenda an invoice that you wanted to talk to us about from Beta, or you can tell us basically the fundamentals of it.
Closing out the previous fiscal year, we're getting all our articles wrapped up. I mean, we've got the article for our motors and actuators. We got ours for a new truck and for our I&I study. So when I got a hold of our engineering, Beta Engineering, in regards to sending over the final invoice so that I can close out the articles, I mean, we were kind of surprised on the final invoice. Every article that we've submitted, that we've came under budget. And with Beta Engineering Services, we came $900 under budget. And what was our original appropriation?
That's a good job.
Yeah. On the first half, there's two phases on this thing here. On the first phase, we did the Manchog area, we cambered the area, we found some deficiencies and things that need to be addressed. The second phase on appropriation is that we forward all those numbers and everything we had to all our pump stations in the Wilkes area and in the Manchog area. Beta Engineering was on the assumption that we wouldn't need to monitor our flows in the Wilkinsville area. So after submitting all the information to the DEP, which is mandated by the DEP, they came back with a letter to the Beta Engineering and to the town indicating that flow monitoring will be required, which then Beta hired a a consultant to monitor that for a 3-month period. And, yeah, that's, all those, after completion of that, the invoice came in for over $17,000, which wasn't part of the appropriation.
Because we weren't advised that we needed to do this at that time, so therefore we didn't go and sponsor that funding.
That's absolutely
Correct?
right, that's 110% right. And so now we've got an outstanding invoice,
Right.
and we don't have the appropriation to pay for that.
Within our
invoice.
budget at this point.
Right.
And this
And I-
would be an article that we'd have to sponsor for the fall?
It would have to come out of fall town meeting, have to come out of the retained earnings.
Okay.
It's, you know, I mean, just to let everybody know, I mean, we wouldn't have got away from this one way or the other. It was just that not
It's sooner than later.
That's right, and we just didn't have the availability of funding it, not knowing that it was gonna be implemented to us. And, I was just as surprised, I ran it by town administrator, they're gonna be reviewing the, agreement that was made between Beta and the town, and probably just run some things up to town council. However, that's yet to be seen. The bill's still outstanding. There's nothing we can do at this point here, you know what I mean, until the fall town meeting, and, we're just, you know, just gonna have to play it out. And, they're gonna have to understand that, you know, we don't have the appropriation for that. We were, you know, I was kinda surprised with the cost of it.
Now, Larry, you probably understand this more than I do, but Donald, with all the good reports we got from Beta, from all the reviews and so forth, and all the new equipment put in, I just wanna clarify in my mind, you know, if they didn't do it then, it probably would have been needed to be done by September, October of this year anyways?
Absolutely right, because it was mandated by DEP. They, you know, they set the criteria.
Okay.
That's not just the town of Sutton, that's throughout the Commonwealth.
Right, everybody.
Right, everyone is gonna have to, and you were kinda ahead of the game. They gave us an extension on this thing here after we forwarded the numbers over. I think they gave us like a 6-month extension, and
Well,
here
if,
we are.
I'm probably, you know what these meters do, right? Flow meters?
I was gonna ask Don if he could explain that.
Yeah,
I'm
what
kinda
exactly the
gray
flow
on it.
meters do?
What they do is that they install it for 3 different sections of the Wilkinsonville area, and the meter is installed in the sewer manhole.
Oh, in the manhole
In
itself?
the manhole itself.
Okay.
And and the readings are monitored by Beta Engineering or the flow company, and then they assess, like if it gets heavy rains, if you get impacted heavy during heavy rains, you know you get probably that leak detection needs to be done. I haven't seen those numbers yet.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm not over the invoice yet. You know?
Are these permanently installed, or is this just temporary for checking?
Just for the INI study.
All right, okay.
That's all it is, yeah.
Well, then,
Which is, you know, the state's right. You just can't leave something in for a couple of weeks. You leave it in for a 3-month period. You don't put it in the winter time. You put it in your, you know, in your spring season, and
Well, it sounds like to me we wouldn't have to vote on sponsoring an article at this point if you're still trying to get some research on this, is that correct?
right. But anything from the enterprise account has to be sponsored by the supervisors, and that's where we're at for this.
When, I think what Neil's getting at, do we have until like August?
Can we like,
to do that, or is-
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. I haven't seen the deadline on the fall town meeting yet from the town
Okay.
clerk. We're kinda early on that. We just started a new fiscal
well, let's
budget.
put this on our agenda for next month for sponsoring the article of this outstanding invoice.
Right.
We'll
I don't
vote on
think
it
there's
then.
I don't think there's really a need for us to vote on it and get
Okay.
the article submitted already. We got plenty of time for that.
Okay.
You know, I just think I'm here to make you aware.
Right.
of what transpired and what needs to happen in the fall.
Because if I may, I just think that if we vote to put it on the fall town meeting, right now, we're kinda jumping the gun on having
Right.
to go through all the channels first
Right.
before it gets.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
good
'cause we
point.
could-
Very good point.
Because we have to sign the article as well. That's something we'd sponsor or the select?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's something we would sponsor. So let it, between Maynard and yourself, you can decide if it goes on next month or the August,
Yeah.
I mean, August or September's, it'd have to be next month.
I would think it's usually 30 days before. I would think by
Right, 30 days
September.
before.
You know, the articles to be submitted by September.
Okay.
I would think,
Correct,
and,
yeah, I think that's-
yeah.
We'll leave you in charge of the timing for our agenda and we'll do the job. Okay. All right. Next, I have down here is the depot generator. Get delivered?
Well, you should probably ask, did they find it?
Did he find it? Okay, well, just pause for a second on that.
Okay, I'll relay the message.
What I will bring up is,
Okay, thank you.
we had a conversation a couple of months ago, or last month, my notes were on the agenda, and our agenda and our commissioner's rules, something that we review once a year. And we usually do it about the same time as we do the reorganization. And we want the members to look at the commissioner's rules, which is like a 3-page list, and the agenda, which is the 12-month calendar of items that we have sponsored, and review that, and then we approve it for the next following year. Gives us an opportunity to add something to the agenda that we want to review annually, or, you know, we always seem to find that it comes up. And also, good time to review the rules. Maybe there's a time that we need to add something. Or maybe we might find something, hey, that doesn't sound good. Let's reword it, or let's correct it. And I believe we've only added one item to the rules, or 2 items, since we originally approved it. So it's a good time for us to look at that and have a final thing. So, Amanda, we'll put this on the agenda for next month, and if you could have a photocopy for each member of the rules and the agenda, and if you don't have it, you can get a PDF from her, if you don't have a copy already.
It's a PDF.
That's a email file. Oh, that's right, you're a plumber, I forgot.
I'll give you paper, Hoss.
Thanks.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry that the phone call, that was Carl.
Oh,
And Carl says he's tied up at work, there's no way he's gonna be at the meeting.
oh, okay, all right, so,
So we did good.
we'll consider him absent, at today's meeting then. So, the question we were at, as we drifted, another direction there, was, the generator, did we find it?
Yes, yeah, we do,
Depot Street generator.
we have the generator at the plant right now.
Okay.
And everything is coordinated, we're ready to go. Everything's on Eversource. Yeah, when, I know Eversource last week took a road opening permit, which means they're ready. I mean, we can't do nothing to Eversource, you know what I mean? Runs the line from the street down to our side. So when we get that, then we'll get our dig safe number, we'll get everything coordinated, and we'll move forward with that.
Good.
I mean, we got a lot. We got the crane operator, we got the, you know, we gotta get the generator down there, you know, transport it down there and out, so, I asked Eversource to at least give me, you know, a week's notice so that we get everything coordinated. on that.
All right, any other discussion on the generator, other than just
How are
being
you
happy
gonna-
you found it?
Yeah, how you gonna get it down there from the,
The highway, the highway will come and lower it, they'll put it on like a flatbed or something, and we'll transport it down there that way.
Okay. All right, moving on, again, as Larry mentioned earlier, we both missed the June 17th Selectmen with the WPI presentation to the Board of Selectmen, but I was very happy to see the video of it, the tape of the cable section of it. And I think the gentleman from WPI did a great job, and the selectmen seemed to be very pleased with it as well. And Donald, you got some pretty good high remarks from the selectmen as well, as doing a good job from Jim and so forth. I'm glad to hear it. Can you comment any more on direction we're going in now on that development? By the way, this is the expansion of the sewer for the Sutton Center, and then possibly later on the school system.
That's great. Yeah, I was very, very pleased with the presentation from Adam Weiss. He's the graduate student from WPI. He did an outstanding job. And that information that we forward over is impacting our next step in regards to going out to bids for design and so forth. And it's impacting us to a degree that I can't believe the various quotes that we're getting for that. So that's where we're at right now. I got about 5 different areas coming in, and I received 3 already. Just to, not to have too much dialogue about it, but one quote was $300,000, another quote was $350,000, and then we get some other people who got a quote for $75,000. I mean, it's amazing how things
It just
fluctuate
fluctuates
so much.
much, yeah.
And it's like, and we're waiting for about, I think, 2-3 more quotes to come in yet. And from that point there, we brought in front of the commissioners, And this is something that we're gonna have to sponsor again for the fall town meeting. And it's gonna come into play either, because the way it's broken down, it's gonna take about 3 months for the design. That's for the design to the households, the pump stations, and so forth. Then that's also dealing with the conservation and the various boards is also included in this price.
In the design price.
In the design process. I mean, what does the design process give? It's gonna give you the cost, and it's gonna give you the plans to go out to bid. And I'm very pleased with one engineer, I don't want to start mentioning any names up there, he's the one who worked with Pleasant Valley Villas. I mean, he's very familiar with the area, he gave us an outstanding price. And that's the lowest bid so far.
Well-
And some of them is not, I mean, they're not even on the same planet, never mind in competition for that there, so. We'll, about another 2-3 weeks, I'll probably find exactly what's going down in regards to, we'll have everything in line, and I'll run it by the commissioners, and so.
Well, we've been discussing this for well over a year now, and it's been a good results as far as information, and Larry, did you get a chance to see the video on that? If you get a chance, I recommend you see it, because the gentleman, both the professor and the student that represented did a great job, and everybody seemed very pleased, and I was very pleased with it too. And as well as they did a good job when they presented it to us the previous month before that. So, high marks to WPI for their help and presentation, and hopefully it'll just move forward for us.
And again, I mean, just to bring it out here for the commissioners and for the people out there also, is that, I mean, this is something, that we're looking at, would not to be funded through the enterprise account, you know what I mean? Or the town can go, that needs to be discussed in the future, what we're going with it. I personally have no problem taking from the enterprise account, that is why it's there for, to extend the sewer system, doing the study and so forth. It's not like it's a comprehensive wastewater management plan. It's more of an actually for an extension to go out to bids for design. But again, that's something that we need to think about and discuss, for the upcoming meetings. Unless you agree, or just
Yeah, no, I'm just
And that includes
taking it
the,
all in.
well, yeah, it's a lot, but, we've relied on the outside source of getting the details, and it's really great.
right. Fantastic.
Saves us a little bit of time and knowledge, and I always have double notes when it comes to the location of the pump station, because I've heard so much variation to that, and
Well, the day of the presentation, the third
opportunity arose on it.
You know what I mean? Right next to the old Krauses there, there's that's also owned by the McGoverns, and really the McGoverns prefer that if we do have the pump station, they'd rather have it there at the low point, and it does make sense.
That's where I always thought it was going, was there was, yeah.
That's right.
yeah.
I mean, where that entrance is going down Boston Road, I mean, that's an enter and exit it. And are we gonna be congesting that area or eliminating that area for, two-way out? So, I like the third option, I really do.
The one
You
way
know,
down,
Right,
because that'll get it over the hill too. that
right, I
way.
mean, right where the old family crossing, I'm sorry, I don't know who lives there now, but right over to the left of that's all McGovern property, and that's an ideal spot.
And
for
that would
pump
be
station.
part of, kind of a concession of the land, being turned over to us in exchange for the
That's
development.
correct, right, yes.
Development
right.
work.
And we need about a 50 by 50, that's
Yeah.
what it is for a pump station, you know what I mean? That's what we need, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think John Hebert mentioned that also, and, that's what is standard, basically standard for pump stations.
Okay.
I guess and not to elaborate too much, but even the student had some, and the professor had some questions about having it right on Main Street in regards to all the direction that you have to go in regards to pushing and so forth. I'm worried about it being stagnant, going septic by the time it gets anywhere, so it's, again, that the recent proposal for that pump station is where it's at, really is.
Very good. Any further discussion about WPI or the? So I guess we'll just sit back and relax until we get some of this information on that, right?
Correct, right,
Okay.
yeah.
All
And I
right.
will bring it forward to the commission.
Okay.
before we go anywhere with it.
We'll, under old business, that completes the agenda. For old business, I had a report coming from Carl, so we'll delay that till next month, for the municipal buildings. So we'll see if we can get that next month. Maybe Amanda can send him an email to remind him you know, for next month, you know, if he has that available for us.
I know
So
he
we
was
can just-
working on it, cause he called me and went over a few
Yeah.
things with me, so I know
But we
he's
have no
working on it.
real rush on it, but it just
Yeah.
move it off the paperwork. And then, the old business, I still have, my curiosity of, how's Walmart doing? They producing what we expect them to do? Everything running smoothly?
Yeah, actually, yeah, yes, they are, and I guess what we need to do with this upcoming budget, you know, not for this present budget, but even for next year, we can, I think now it's been over a year, I think even with the Price Chopper, Market 32, whatever, the Walmart, we get some concrete figures now, and I think we can really take those figures, make an assessment, and apply them to the budget. I mean, originally, we couldn't, because we didn't know
Right.
what was coming in there, and again, when I did assess it, I assessed it on the low side. You know
Right,
what I
'cause
mean?
you
I'd
gotta
rather-
have some
I'd
history
rather
to
be
find out
over
what's
there,
going-
find
that's
out
correct.
that, right.
Yeah.
So, with those figures that come up there, we'll throw it out, you know, to the commissioners and all that, and, there's definitely no need to raise the rates, there's no doubt about that, you know what I mean? And, the
That's
way
good.
things
We talked about that and said we won't even look at that until 2019, and the way it looks now, it might even be good beyond that.
That's
So
it, you're absolutely right.
That's good.
Yep. I mean, you gotta understand what's happening also here with the Galaxy. Now you got that second phase going on, you know, which is good. You know, now you got the Whitensville, Whitens Road. You got
Whiten
that.
Road. Now, there's 3 office buildings there?
I believe that's their office building's going. Is that correct? That's right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody knows?
I just know
No, I know
they're
that. I
just
know.
digging it out.
Yeah, we
But
could,
Prime Metals is actually going in, to Commerce Park though, correct?
that's absolutely, and that's the third one I was gonna say, come up. So, I mean, the future, you know what I mean, in regards to,
Yep.
operating budget, looks very, very good.
Very
You know
good.
what I mean, and,
Well, you've
nobody
worked
wants
hard
to-
at it, that's for sure, keeping things flowing, and Sutton's been, constantly growing, which I think is great to see.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know?
Definitely, you're absolutely right.
Okay, any other discussion about any new developments or anything else? That covers almost everything I know of going
mean,
on.
We did have a meeting with Prime Meadows with all the department heads and so forth. And, you know, the question came out, you know, about Prime Meadows discharging and, you know, my concerns on that there. And it was, you know, it's laid out there. They just need water for sewer uses for the municipality, just for the employees. That's all. There's
Employees.
nothing
to do with
that's gonna be,
manufacturing.
nothing's gonna be manufactured whatsoever. In regards to that, there's gonna be a clear separation, you know what I mean, from where, the sewers are and, you know, their process, so.
And that's a new facility too, it's not an existing building up there, it's the new, actually building the building, correct?
Right, and I believe from what they were, the presentation, there's still 2 lots that are gonna be, a potential buildable.
Oh, really?
They're not taking the whole,
Oh, I thought that was the final.
I thought so too,
Yeah.
but no, the way there's gonna have an access road leading up to those last 2 parcels. You know what I mean? Just as you're going with the entrance and, you know, I was kinda surprised about that. I thought they were gonna, you know, fill that whole area, but they're not, so.
All right, anything else under old business? Besides our age? We have an ongoing joke here about our age lately. Anyways, all right, new business. We brought up earlier about the commissioner's booklet, so gonna have that on next week's, for the annual review of the booklet, the rules, and the agenda. Okay? And, encourage all the members to, review the, commissioner's rules and the agenda, and also, the booklet is available in the office to review. Anything else on the new business, Donald? Anything you've done a great job keeping, oh, Amanda raised her hand, all right. It's Amanda.
I don't know why I raised my hand.
It's been a while since we've heard that under the quarter.
The Route 2 billing for July.
Okay,
Shelley said she called me and she should have those ready in the next couple weeks. So that's just Wilkes Water, the second half of Wilkes.
okay,
So that should be going out probably by the end of July.
good.
So I'll have those ready. So I'll have that warrant for you guys to sign.
All right. So, and talking about that, basically, our revenue on the budget's been kind of coming in on schedule, right? With Millbury's invoice and so forth.
Well, we haven't got the final invoice from Millbury yet. I mean,
Oh, we still haven't?
You don't get that till September, so.
For June 30th, the invoice for June
Yeah,
30th.
From the previous one,
Okay.
from the previous budget, right, that's the way.
That's
it's
right, that's
been.
still on the last budget.
Yep, right.
It's funny, it's hard to, look 2 months past the end of the budget, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to encumber, you know, you gotta go ahead and encumber the money from your previous
Right.
budget, well, how much you encumbered?
Yeah.
You don't know, it fluctuates so much with them,
Mm.
and, so, but I spoke to the, town accountant on it, and he's aware of it, and he's gonna, once we get the, final assessment of a budget from the retained earnings, what we did for last fiscal budget, we'll take it from there.
Very good. Well, if nothing being on old business or new business,
Next meeting.
think we have you here for a reminder. The next
Well, I was
meeting.
just looking because.
Yeah, I see that. I have it on the list every time. I just don't read it, I guess. Next meeting, August 8th, 2018, 4 PM, if that is still acceptable for everybody. That was okay, so that's what we'll simply set.
Be here.
Maybe, if I don't get another cruise.
With that said, and nothing else to discuss, hear a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion, we've adjourned at 4:30 PM. Thank you.